For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to
rumble! Yeah. What's up? What's going on, family? I don't know if you guys can hear me, but this time boy Coach Malachi Williams in the building, representing for New Media Today USA Boxing. Let me make sure you guys can hear the audio. Can you hear the audio? Okay, cool. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Man. I'm trying to make sure we can see what's going on. What's popping? Right now, as you can see, I'm in the room right now. There's nothing in here right now. So everything's still getting situated. At the new Spizot. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. So I'm just sitting in the chair right now and just relaxing. I want to go ahead and knock this out, man. You know what I mean? Listen, man, I really want to appreciate everybody for rocking with the old boy, man. I really appreciate that. I'm trying to adjust this ring light I have right here. I have a ring light right here, guys. So it's like, oh, you can't turn it. Okay, you can't turn it. So I have a ring light right here. All right, there we go. Put it down right there. Bear with me for a moment, guys. Had a ring light right there. All right, cool, man. Listen, man, shout out to everybody who rocking with me right now today, man. Listen, I understand, man, that you guys could be doing. I understand that you guys, okay, everybody say they can hear me fine. This one guy said he can't hear anything. Wow. So let me see something. I hope that you can hear me. Let me see something. Let me check the audio one more time. Let me see. Check the audio one more time. Okay, yeah, you should be able to hear me. Everything is fine. Right? So Bacon and Egg say hear you loud and clear. Alex Gonzalez says, okay. All right, Alex Gonzalez says loud and sound. Okay, cool. All right, it is what it is. All right, man. Shout out to my main man, Alex, man. Listen, let me give everybody a shout out who's here right now. You know, Facebook I keep saying Facebook. Damn, I don't know why I keep confusing YouTube and Facebook, guys. But YouTube is sending all of the algorithms out. Guys, I'm looking kind of rough, man. I haven't had a haircut since the move, so please bear with me on that. You know what I mean? Shout out to Ignorant Boxing. Shout out to Alex Gonzalez. Shout out to Sly Tendencies. Shout out to the Boxing King. What's up, fam? Salute to the Boxing King. Shout out to M Bloom, my brother M Bloom. Shout out to my brother Daniel Minta. What's going on, fam? Bill Taylor, what's up, fam? Shout out to Bacon and Eggs. Shout out to you, fam. Shout out to Jay Rodriguez. What's going on, fam? Shout out to my main man in Bloom. Shout out to, I think that's everybody. Shout out to my brother Halim. Halim, what's going on, fam? Shout out to Paul CX. Shout out to NL. Shout out to Angus. You know, and other than that, that's it as of right now. So, you know, everybody gonna roll in a little later. Oh, shout out to my brother Michael Buffer. Man, I miss my sound effects and everything, man. Bro, y'all don't understand how much I miss my sound effects, man. I hope these guys hurry up, man, so I can get, get everything set up, man. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, man, listen, man. You know, I want to talk about, man, my main man Jermell Charlo, right? If you've been on the YouTube circuit lately, everyone, shout out to my brother Ronald Finkley, man, and Alan Skill. Shout out to you too, fam. I miss you. I miss giving you a shout out. And shout out to Merrill Dixon, right? Everyone has been talking bad about Jermell Charlo. Well, I don't want to say everyone. We'll say this, guys. We'll say the black YouTube channels have been calling Jermell Charlo out because he's not towing the line, pushing the race baiting narrative, right? It is what it is. So now, again, you guys know my background. My backstory is, you know, I've been in the Nation of Islam for 24 and a half years. If I take my shirt off and show you my back, I have a big ass tattoo on my back. You know what I mean? On my back. You know what I mean? I got stuff on my arms and stuff like that. So I've been involved in it very heavy. When it comes to that subject matter, there's no one on this platform going to win a debate with me as it relates to that. When it comes to race hustling, I learn from the best. So I understand the narrative. Remember, guys, I used to be, before there was an LDBC, I was that. I was way worse than them. I was radical. I was very militant. And I was very racist. And I was more racist towards people who was my skin complexion, who did not follow the narrative, while at the same time crimes are being committed by people who look like me against people who look like me. You see what I'm saying? So the irony in that. But right now, you guys know me, man. We finna go to school today. You know how I do it. Shout out to Texas, man. Shout out to Texas. Shout out to Texas. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to Texas, man. So I will be looked upon in the Black conscious community right now. I will be looked upon as a coon, as a sellout. You betrayed us. Yada 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 yada. Blase squaze. Word. That would that would have been me. That would have been me. I woke up 6 years ago. So at 41, I finally woke up. At 7 years ago, I would have still been on that foolishness. You see what I'm saying? But not as radical, but 7 years ago, right? So there's a lot of street pseudo dogma going on the internet right now. A lot of street pseudo dogma. You see what I'm saying? So and there's a lot of cognitive dissonance going on within. There's a lot of dynamics going on with this with these race baiters on YouTube, right? And these certain fighters who want to push this certain narrative. Now, some of these fighters who want to push the narrative, like Wilder and maybe Wilder and some of the other boxers, they are misinformed, and they don't have the knowledge. They really don't. You see what I'm saying? They think they do, but they don't know that they don't know. You see what I'm saying? So I would give them a pass, because it's going to take some time as years go by, as they evolve and experience more things in life. If they can sit back and look in the mirror like I did and be honest with themselves, you know what I mean? Then you know what time it is. Like, I used to go to Chicago all the time, man, see Minister Farrakhan speak, every Savior's Day. I was a lieutenant in the Nation of Islam. I came out of Mosque number 47. You know what I mean? I was trained by some of the most powerful heavy hitters from the first resurrection in the Nation of Islam. You know what I mean? So trust me, I get it. I get the the dogma. I get the narrative. I get the race baiting. I get the race hustling. I get all of that. Trust me, I get it. You know what I mean? The victimhood mentality. A lot of these guys. This what I want to tell you guys is this: don't listen to anything that I say. Do your own research. When you do research, this is how you do research. When you do research, you have to research what you believe, right? But then you have to research the counter argument to what you believe. You see what I'm saying? If you don't research the counter argument to what you believe, then you will just find stuff that confirm what you already want to believe, which is the definition of confirmation bias, right? So let's break some of this stuff down, right? When you're trying to make sense out of nonsense, the reason why you can't win a debate or win an argument with any of those guys who follow that narrative, because you're trying to make sense out of nonsense. You can't do it. Alex Skill, what you say, fam? Say, Coach, your background is amazing. The fact that you was born into that way of thinking and broke free of it is a testament to your character and mental strength. Listen, Alex Skill, man, I was dead as a doorknob. I was the most my IQ was so low, I didn't even realize I had a low IQ until I woke up out of it. That's when I realized, wait a minute, man, damn, my IQ was low as hell. I mean, I always was a smart guy, but for me to fall for the dogma that I fell for, because, a lot because of my mom. My mom kind of primed my brain to think certain things. My mom was born in the 1940s, so she primed my brain to think a lot of things, which made me food for the fodder when I came into the Nation of Islam. Then my grandfather, Kareem, RIP to Kareem, Minister Kareem Abdul Muhammad, he came out of Mosque number 7 and in New York, in Harlem, right? So I was indoctrinated very well. I learned a lot from Minister Rahman Muhammad, RIP to him. I learned a lot from Jermell Muhammad out in Arizona. I learned a lot from B.R. down in Miami. I learned a lot from Minister B.R. down in Miami, which was the minister down in Miami. I learned a lot from Musain, Minister Musain down in Miami. I learned a lot from Curtis Muhammad, which was the regional captain. He was a part of the security team of Minister Farrakhan. I learned a lot from Minister Van, who was the regional minister. You know what I mean? Out of Atlanta. So when I say I know this stuff very well, I know it very well. From the general orders to the English C lessons to the restricted laws and bylaws. You know, I know it all. So I know these talking points very well from the Alphabet Boy community. I really do, right? So shout out to my sister Lisa Bells. Shout out to my sister Lady Shan. Lady Shan in the building. Lady Shan. Lady Shan and Lisa is in the building. Shout out to those two women. Shout out to Bat Ish Crazy. You see what I'm saying? So I understand it, right? But let me go on from that, because I don't share that with you guys, right? I haven't even got deep with it. I'm going to drop a video soon, and I'm going to drop the nuclear bomb on this whole race hustling, race baiting narrative that's coming from Deontay Wilder. When I blow it up, you know, it is what it's going to be. It's not going to change anyone's mind. I'm not looking to change anyone's mind. I'm looking to show you guys the contradiction with it, right? So you know, I want you guys to know something too. There's a lot of classism, right? People who are rich and have money, they shout out to my brother Punch, man. Shout out to Punch Drunk Boxing, man. Shout out to Punch Drunk Boxing, man. So you have a lot of people who are fortunate in America because they are rich, right? So people who have money, whether they're black or white, whether they're black or white, they have an advantage over us, those who are from the working class. You know what I mean? It's called classism. You see what I'm saying? So when you have money in America or anywhere in the world, you are in a different class than people who don't have financial wealth, right? So this is why someone like a Deontay Wilder, country boy from Alabama, you know, he had a lot of privileges growing up. Punch touched on this yesterday. He had a lot of privileges growing up. You know, fact of the matter is he was privileged enough to go to the Olympics and win the he was privileged enough to go to the Olympics and win the gold medal. No, I mean win the bronze medal, which they call him the bronze bomber, which they took from the brown bomber, which is RIP to my brother Joe Louis, right? Then he was privileged enough to start his boxing career in the sport of boxing. He was privileged enough to knock out 40-something people since he'd been in the sport of boxing. A lot of them were white as well, right? He was privileged enough to win the WBC heavyweight championship of the world. There was no systemic racism. There was no protection for the complexion. Clearly, if he's talking about the complexion for the protection, he is the total opposite of that which he's propagating. So how in the hell did he become champion in America? You know, under his narrative that he's spitting, right? I say then he defended his title for 5 years, right? He defended his title for 5 years. Then he fought Tyson Fury in the first fight, which he made the most money that he's ever made up until that point, right? He fought Tyson Fury the first fight. Then he fought Tyson Fury the second fight, and he lost. You didn't hear nothing about systemic racism. You didn't hear nothing about the complexion for the protection. You didn't hear about none of that until he got his ass whooped the second fight. Once he got his ass whooped the second fight, then the victimhood mentality comes in. So you're trying to tell me you have a net worth of $35 million, and you want me to believe that you're a goddamn victim when you are in a or a part of an elite group of millionaires within the United States of America. You, the LeBron James, the Oprah Winfrey's, even though Oprah was a billionaire, but y'all get what I'm saying. So there's a lot of privileged people from many different nationalities right here in America. But you want to make me think that you just like me walking around in the street or anyone else in this chat. We don't nowhere near have the money that you have, sir. So as soon as you lose, you make all these goddamn excuses. And now you want to play victim. And then you have a lot of people in this community that have very low IQs, right? I know because I was one of them when I was in the NOI. I had a real low IQ. I didn't realize I didn't realize I had a low IQ though. I had a real low IQ, had to have a low IQ to follow that bullshit that I was following, to follow that dogma that I was following. Now, I'm not trying to knock anyone else. If you want to join a national black national organization and call it what you want to call it, and you want to put up the good fight and take it to the man, so be it. If that's what you want to do, so be it. Good luck though, because the man's still here. The man is still here. You know, many of those who before I was born, there was many who came who had that same narrative and tried to fight it. They're dead and gone now. The man is still here. There is no spaceships coming to destroy anybody in America, any white people in America around the world. There is no revolution Well, people are going to rise up and we're going to take it to the man. Man, all these people got to do is pull up in your neighborhood, block the roads off, and make sure no food comes to your grocery stores, and your revolution is dead. How you going to, you know what I mean? So let's cut it out. You are a millionaire. Now let's stick to the topic at hand. My brother Jermell Charlo is being crucified. Now I don't know Jermell Charlo personally at all. Jermell Charlo is being crucified by the very same black media on YouTube that says that they represent for black boxers. This is the hypocrisy when it comes to dealing with these idiots. I call them idiots because it's very idiotic for anyone to be so quick to turn on someone all because he has a difference of opinion of you, right? So let me get this straight. This is why I tell you guys who are not from the United States of America, do not get involved with the racial politics of black Americans. It'll just confuse you. You know, if you black and you from the UK, you black, but you really ain't black because you from the UK, you didn't come up in America. While at the same time saying that you fighting for black people around the world, the black struggle. So you're trying to tell me the only people in America, only blacks in America have a struggle, right? Like this is idiotic. But anyways, back to my brother Jermell Charlo. My brother Jermell Charlo said this here. He said that Wilder didn't lose because of racism. He's using that as an excuse because he got his ass whooped. You lost because you had no boxing skills, which he doesn't. He's a knockout artist. You know, he knocked out a bunch of Uber drivers, taxi cab drivers, Walmart, warehouse workers and stuff like that. But he knocked them out, right? He knocked them out. Let me turn this phone off. I got some notes right here on my phone. So I'm going to read some stuff to you guys. So he knocked them out, right? And you didn't hear nothing about none of this, none of the racial elements. And check this out. Deontay Wilder is so pro-black, he got 2 white managers. One of his managers is a co-manager. His name is JD's. His other co-manager is Shelly Bullwinkle. Now, Shelly Bullwinkle is the whitest of the whitest, right? From a skin complexion standpoint. If you so goddamn pro-black, you fired Mark Breland, the black man, the one who saved your life from getting beat from a guy who so-called was cheating you, right? Was so-called cheating you. And then as soon as someone doesn't toe the line from the Alphabet Boy channels, got to talk about that, from the Alphabet Boy channels, as soon as someone doesn't toe the line and holds on to the narrative, Jermell Charlo had the nerve, the audacity to sit back and go against the lie. He spoke his truth. He spoke his truth, and he's getting crucified. He's being called coon, sellout, Uncle Tom, Sambo, all this stuff. All the same stuff that they call me. I can handle it. I have no problem with that because the only power that those guys have in the Alphabet Boy community and their followers, the only power that they have is name calling. They have the power of name calling. That's it. They can't make nothing happen. They can't do anything. They have no power. And guess what? Last time I checked, YouTube is a white man's platform. So your pro-black ass is so pro-black that you are on a white man's platform talking about white people. Do you know how stupid you sound right now? This dude in Alabama, Deontay Wilder, is worth $30-something million. He lives in a mansion, but he wants to convince me that Tyson Fury has the complexion for protection. This is why he was able to cheat and do all the stuff he did, and everybody else turned the blind eye. Well, why did they turn the blind eye when you fought Arthur Spilker? Why did they turn the blind eye when you won the bronze medal in the Olympics? Why did they turn the blind eye when you was worth, now you worth $30-something million? Why did they turn the blind eye when you defended your title when you won the WBC heavyweight champion of the world? Why did they turn the blind eye when you defended your title for 5 years? You had no problem with referees. You had no problem with judges. You had no problem with the word boxing as an organization. You had no problem at all as long as you was knocking out cab drivers and Uber drivers. And as soon, now you did knock out a couple good fighters. You knocked out King Kong Ortiz. He was 75 years old, but that's neither here nor there. You did that. You beat Bermain Stavern. That was a good fight. The first fight was. And you knocked out Dominique Brazil, and then you fought Tyson Fury twice. But when you fought an elite fighter in Tyson Fury, when you didn't get your way, when you was not able to do to him what you did to all of those who came before him, you came up with a million goddamn excuses. You came up with 10 to 15 excuses. Literally. And even right now to this day, you're talking about you was under a juju spell and all of this stuff there and yada, 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 yada. No, if you would have focused on your opponent, see, I'm finna nuke. Listen, guys, I promise you this here. I'm gonna drop a nuclear bomb. As a matter of fact, let's do this now. Let's do this now, guys. I'm gonna give you guys a sample, just a sample of what I'm gonna head crack them with. I'm not gonna give you everything. I'm gonna just give you a sample of what I'm gonna head crack them with, right? Because what I'm gonna do is this here. I'm gonna use Deontay Wilder's words that he said against him. I'm gonna use Deontay Wilder's words against him to back up my brother Jermell Charlo, because I'm a ride for Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo is one of my favorite fighters. Do I agree with everything Jermell Charlo says? Hell no. Jermell Charlo is a hothead. He's a fireball, just like I was when I was his age and younger. So I can relate to that brother. I understand his anger, his rage, and how he feels in his heart. I get that. But what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to call him a sellout, or Uncle Tom, or Sambo, all because he don't want to follow the race baiting narrative. We're not going to do that. And if I have to take 1,000 arrows in my back, take the shots from all of the Alphabet Boy channels and their supporters, so goddamn be it. I can handle it. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. You see what I'm saying? Whatever y'all got to say, bring it. I don't care. You're not going to change my mind. You ain't experienced what I experienced. You ain't been through 24 and a half years of black nationalism and Marxism and reverse racism. You ain't been through that. You ain't got homeboys that's locked up in prison that ain't never getting out in the feds because they believe a doctrine and committed crimes to support their leader that's currently alive in Chicago. And then as soon as they get locked up, there's no lawyer fees for them. There's no one, they turn their back on them. People dying, waiting on spaceships to come back. Listen, you're going to lose this argument with me because I know too much. You see what I'm saying? Every time. So when I see the race baiting entering into the boxing community, I have an issue with that. I'm going to stand on that. I'm going to fight on that. And I'm going to die on that. You want to know why? Because I almost died believing in Marxism and black nationalism in the name of race baiting and race hustling. If it ends up being at the end of the day that you have to, if they ask you for a donation, you're being race hustled. Just know that you're being race hustled. You see what I'm saying? If you have leaders who supposed to lead a group of people, shout out to my brother Punch Drunk Boxing, man, for the support. Punch Drunk Boxing say, let's be pro-God, pro-family, pro-unity, pro-accountability, pro-responsibility, pro-love. Men, let's be the superheroes to our women and children. God bless you all. I love y'all. Exactly. Exactly, Punch. You see what I'm saying? In regards to what you call God, what do you call them? Allah, Jesus, Moses, Buddha, Yahweh, Dios, whatever you call them, it's the same thing. Whatever you call them, you know, let's do that. You know, but this is the thing, Punch. Let me explain something to you. What they did was this. They made the powers that be made. There's a book you guys need to buy. We have been made, especially in Black America, we have been made professional victims in America. So basically, there's no accountability. Anything that you do wrong in life, it's not your fault. It's the white man's fault. And anytime you are not successful in life, it's not because of you. It's because there's a group of people who are consistently holding you down in 2021. Well, if that was the goddamn case, how in the hell Deontay Wilder is worth $30-something million? How in the hell LeBron James is worth $200-300 million? How in the hell Floyd Mayweather is worth the amount of money that he's worth? How in the hell we have Oprah Winfrey that's a billionaire? Explain that to me. We have countless examples of all of these black oppressed millionaires and billionaires in America. But if the man was holding you down, how in the hell they was able to overcome all of that systemic racism, all of that the system and the man holding them down? Show me how you was able to overcome all of that and amass the wealth that you obtained. But anyways, there's a book called Critical Theories that you guys need to get by. There's another book called Critical Race Theories, but I want you to look at Critical Theories. Oh, it's a book on Amazon. Go type in Critical Theories. See, this is why I bust their ass at in their low IQ community, because they low IQ community don't read. They don't read books. They don't study, right? They don't study. You ain't going to beat me. You're not going to beat me when it comes to this subject matter because you don't read and you don't study. These guys are deaf, dumb, and really blind, as the Nation of Islam would say. Deaf, dumb, and blind, because You know, they believe narratives without doing their own research. I tell everybody, listen, my brother, before you accept anything that comes from me or anyone else, what you need to do is do your own research. So the name of this book is called Critical Theories, right? But I have another book that you guys really, really need to check out. This is a damn good book here. And I haven't read it yet, but I'm in the process of reading it. It's a book called Life at the Bottom. This book is called Life at the Bottom. Let me tell you what it's about. Life at the Bottom, right? It talks about the worldview that makes the underclass, which is the bottom, the people who are at the bottom, right? So let me explain to you how they set us all up, how they set this up, right, for you to have a victim mentality. This is what you see going on with the Alphabet Boy community, right? And they use divide and conquer tactics at the bottom in order to keep us separated. So while you fighting with this guy because you have a color crayon mentality. What I mean by that color crayon mentality is, you know, if you look at a crayon box has all kind of different colors, right? So we look at stuff based on skin value. If you're not my same skin color, I can't ride with you. But at the same time, if you are my same skin color and you don't support the narrative that I'm pushing, I'm gonna turn on you as well. The irony in that's pro-black for your ass, right? So anyways, you can go on any of the Alphabet Boy channels and you can see them disrespecting, dissing, and talking bad about other black people all damn day, while at the same time saying that they're pro-black. We need to stick together. These will be the same guys that pull up on you and want to commit all kind of bodily harm to you. These niggas is full of you know what. So anyways, let me go ahead and tell you this book. Life at the Bottom talks about this here. You know, this is the book that Thomas Sowell recommended as well. This is another guy who they say is the cool Uncle Tom as well. So anyways, let me address this shout out. Sly Tennessee says, shout out to you, brother, for the super chat. Sly Tennessee says, in life, you're given a ticket to the freak show. In America, you're given a front row seat. Enjoy the show. You're getting settled in, coach. Yeah, I'm getting settled in, man. Right now, we're just waiting on the painters to finish painting. But anyways, let's go ahead. Alex Gill said, my mentor when I was younger had started a career in law and told me, if you don't know the answer, don't ask for the answer. Ask where to find it. That way you can find out the truth. Yeah, you got to do your own research, right? So there's all kind of isms going on. Racism, classism, you know what I mean? Marxism, communism. There's all kind of isms going on. Every ism is not racism. You have a lot of classism going on in America. You have the haves and the have-nots. Those who got it and those who don't got it. That's basically what it is. And that's pretty much anywhere you go in the world. If you are the ones who are financially endowed, guess what? You have a tactical advantage over someone who is not financially endowed. You have privilege. You will be able to do certain things that people who don't have the finances that you have will not be able to do. You want to know why? Listen, I can't do what LeBron James do. You want to know why? LeBron James can talk about systemic racism all he wants while walking down the street with a all-white police presence protecting him. The irony in that, systemic racism, white. Last time I checked, the NBA was white. If you guys really had a problem with white people and systemic racism, why are you using the white man's platform in YouTube? Why have you not formed your own basketball leagues or football leagues? And don't tell me anything about, the man, they're gonna stop us from doing it. You guys are using 1950s and 1960s talking points in a 2021 era. This is your problem. You are using outdated information and you keep regurgitating the same thing over and over and over. They was doing this before I was born, and when I'm dead and gone, they are going to keep doing this. You want to know why? Because it works. The people at the bottom have low IQs, period. I am the only guy on YouTube that's really addressing it the way I'm addressing it. I'm not being nice about it. I'm not here to make friends. You see what I'm saying? I'm here to tell it the way I see it, like it is. You see what I'm saying? And if I lose some along the way, then guess what? It wasn't meant for you to travel with me down this road. Because when you're taking a trip, right? When you're taking a trip, there are people who will start out with you in the beginning, guys, but then they'll fall off by the time you get to the journey. If they fall off by the time you get to where you need to go, guess what? It wasn't meant for them to make it to the other side with you. You see what I'm saying? I've been there before. I've done that. I'm not in this business. And I'm not in this business as a content creator to try to be on anyone's side. I want to be on the side of right and want to be on the side of truth. And if I stand on the side of right and on the side of truth, And if I got to take arrows from people who look like me, if I got to be called a coon, or Uncle Tom, a sellout, have niggas telling me to come to Memphis, and if you come to Memphis, I'm going to have shooters and do this and do that. If I got to go through all of that, just for me to tell it like it is, then so goddamn be it. This is what God meant for me to do. And this is what I'm going to do. You see what I'm saying? I'm not afraid of you. I care nothing about your threats. I care nothing about your subliminal shots. I care nothing about your group or your crew. You guys are powerless to me. You know what I mean? You guys are very powerless to me. You weak, and you weak-minded, feeble-minded individuals because you don't do your own research. You don't know how to do research. You only find stuff that agrees with your narrative, which is the prime definition of confirmation bias. So let me break this down for you guys, right? And we finna go on because I'm finna cook today. I'm fixing to cook. We're gonna rock for another hour and a half. So this is how we're gonna do it, right? And this particular book, and this is my shout out to my brother Jay, who sent this out to me, man. Shout out to my brother Jay, man, who sent me this. Anyways, Lady Shan, shout out to Lady Shan for the super chat. My sister Lady Shan said, Blue said that Wilder calls him and gives him content to pass on to us. So when anybody says Wilder didn't say that, don't want to hear it. Shan, you know what? You hit the nail right on the head. I'm gonna tell you why I know you're right. Because when Wilder started back talking again, Lady Shan, I started noticing some of the stuff that he was saying was what the alphabet boys were saying. And then I realized, when I heard my brother Blue, you know what I mean? Even though I don't agree with 99% of the stuff that Blue says, because he lies all the damn time. But I like Blue because he seems like he has a good spirit, has a good heart, or whatever the case may be, but he's full of shit. And I like Blue, but I will call him out on that. Anyways, I say all that to say this though. Basically, when I heard Wilder saying the same things, and then Blue said he talked to Wilder and 7A Sports, the brother over there said he talked to Wilder, that let me know that, wait a minute, he was feeding them that information the whole time. He was feeding them that information the whole time. So these guys are so much of a follower, they don't even know how to do critical research because we are a part of a cult, and my job is to ride for the black man unless it's Terrence Crawford. My job is to ride for the black man unless it's Anthony Johnson. My job is to ride for the black man unless it's Jermell Charlo. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to ride for the black man as long as the black man continues to perpetuate the same narrative. As soon as that black man, quote unquote, get off cold and he don't push the same victimhood narrative and victimhood mentality, then guess what? The black power goes out of the black power and the black unity goes out of the window. And guess what we're going to do? Now we got to attack them. I don't want to be a part of nothing like that. You guys can have that. I care nothing about your alphabet letters. I care nothing about your supporters or your followers. I don't like them at all. Don't want them over here. If you are a fanboy and a supporter of that movement, this is not the channel for you. I'm not begging for those kind of subscribers. I want people who are critical thinkers, who have high IQs and are willing to listen and learn and willing to do the research to understand BS and stuff that's coming from these other guys. And you can even question me. If I'm wrong about something, do research on it and say, Coach, man, you was wrong right here. I'll be the first one to come on this channel and say, you know what, man, you're right about that. I was dead wrong. Because if I'm wrong in public, I'm going to make my apology in public because that's what men do. But anyways, this particular book here, man, it's one of my favorite books. This particular book here, man, called Life at the Bottom, it pretty much talks about, and shout out to my brother Jay, who sent me this. It talks about, here is a searing account probability, right? That is best yet published, often the life of the underclass, and why it persists as it does. Now, this guy name is Theodore Daryl Ample. I'm pronouncing his name right. He is a British psychiatrist, and he treats the poor in a slum hospital bed, right? And in a prison in England. Now, this happened in England, right? This is his brother from England, right? He has seemingly seen it all, right? So yet in listening to and observing his patients, he is continuously astonished by the latest twist of depravity, that exceeds even in his own considerable experience. You see what I'm saying? Now, Daryl, I think we're just going to say Daryl. Daryl's insight in the life at the bottom is a long-term poverty, is that long-term poverty is caused not by economics, but by a dysfunctional set of values, one that is continually reinforced by an elite culture searching for victims. Now, let me break that down for you guys. It has nothing to do with economics. Now, I'm not saying that money is not the issue, but money is the issue. But it's deeper than, it's not as simple as money. Because you can give a fool money and he'll go on Instagram, show everybody his money. He'll go on social media and show that he's buying this and buying all these different material things. So if it was simple as throwing money at it, then these same people wouldn't be taking their wealth and squandering it on material possessions. But what he said is this here. He has a key insight into that poverty is caused not by economics, but by a dysfunctional set of values. One that is continuously reinforced by an elite culture searching for victims right here in America. Now, I added the right here in America because that's what's going on with certain political groups. I can't say too much because YouTube will censor you. We don't have free speech anymore in America. That's gone. So I can't say certain things because YouTube algorithms will turn against me. So I just saw that to say this. Right here in America, right? Let me show you how this backs up everything what I'm saying. Right here in America, right? You have a certain group of people. You know what I mean? We're going to say that their political class is considered as L, and their political class is considered as the capital D. We'll say that, right? They push a narrative that black people can't do this, black people can't do that, black people can't do this, such and such, they need help. They perpetuate professional victimhood. And then those same people in America, the victims who they are perpetuating this stuff to, they'll take those same talking points from the L category in the capital D category, and they'll say, yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. The system holding me down. There's no accountability at all, right? So now what happens is we have a self-destructive culture here in America. I'm gonna prove my point. The culture is the problem. The culture is very toxic. The culture is a culture that it kills their own kind. It kills their children, their women, and their babies in cold blood in the street. In the name of keeping it real, the Black American culture in America glorifies violence on each other, glorifies keeping it real, glorifies not knowing, glorifies being ignorant, glorifies not being articulate, glorifies anything that is negative that will perpetuate the hardships and the stuff that they are going through in their lives. If you are a person who looks like me, or a person of color, or whatever you want to call it, who is very articulate, who is who is educated, who doesn't subscribe to the race baiting narrative, that subculture or that culture of people will turn around and turn on this guy and literally attack him. And then they'll make up all kind of stuff. You see what I'm saying? Oh, well, he's a coon, he's a sellout, he said. You'll glorify the rapper who talks about, I'm finna pull up on him, dump bullets in the body, shoot him in the head. You'll praise this guy. You'll praise the rapper who's teaching your girls how to be thoughts and Tatianas and pop it and bust it, and let's go to the strip club and one leg up. You will praise that. That is a dysfunctional culture. But you will attack the opposite of that, of the people who look just like you. You see what I'm saying? So people who like Thomas Sowell, people like Larry Elder, people like Neil deGrasse Tyson, people like Herman Cain, people like Walter Williams, people like Booker T. Washington, people who doesn't subscribe to the race hustling and victimhood mentality and race baiting mentality, you openly attack them. And you uphold certain talking points that was fed to you by the elites. And so they know that the people at the bottom, that's in any society. Most of the people at the bottom in any society are what? They have low IQs. So it's very easy to manipulate them. How do I know? Because I once had a low IQ. I was very easy to manipulate. So I know what the hell I'm talking about. You guys have no idea, the poison and the toxicity that's going on right here in the Boston community right now. When I started my channel, guys, let me tell you guys something. When I started my channel, I was going to start a political channel. My channel is going to be about politics because I know a whole lot about politics, and I know a whole lot about race hustling, and I know a whole lot about religion. I spend thousands of dollars per year buying books, doing research. And when I buy books from white people, Asian people, Latino people, Black people. It doesn't matter who you is. I am in search of the truth, and I am in search of information. And I'm not looking for anything to confirm what I want to believe in. If I believe something, I'm looking for something that would counter that what I believe. Do you want to know? Well, you want to know why I want to look for stuff that counter what I believe? Because if I ever get into a debate with someone, I need to know how they are going to attack me. I need to know how my enemy or my opposition is going to attack me. I need to understand his talking points. So I need to study everything that he knows. So that's how I know what he's going to say before he even says it. And then I study the counter argument against that. And I make sure that I can articulate my point very well. So when I get into a debate with this guy, I know, you know what? I know what his talking points is. I will disarm him with his own talking points. So if your talking point is the Bible, I will use your book to disarm you. If your talking point comes from the Holy Quran, I will use your book to disarm you. If your talking point comes from Marxism, i.e. Karl Marx, I will use your talking points to disarm you. If your talking points come from black nationalism, I will use your talking points to disarm you. And the only way I can do that, I will have to study your talking points and understand your talking points. You see what I'm saying? So I automatically know what you're going to say before you even say it, so I know how to defend it. This is how you do research. Anyway, so let's break this down, guys. Let's break this down. When you do research, man, on any subject matter or topic, you have to look at everything in its entirety, right? You got to look at everything in its entirety. Don't just look at one side. Don't go to a YouTube channel and say, yeah, man, I like that brother spitting. He's spitting the truth. That's it. That's what I'm looking for. No, challenge what he's saying. Challenge what I'm saying. Do your own research. Don't listen to Coach Malachi Williams. Don't listen to the Alphabet Boy channels. Listen to both arguments and do your own research. And if you do your own research, and let me show you something. Right? I'm trying to make sense out of nonsense. We're talking about my brother Jermell Charlo. I'm going somewhere with this, guys, so please follow me. I know I'm being kind of winded right now, but I'm going somewhere with this. We're defending my brother Jermell Charlo. The man is being crucified on the social media platform by the same pro-black channels on YouTube. You niggas is so pro-black that you attack black on a daily basis, but you pro-black. You niggas is pro-ignorant. I call you out on this. I don't respect you. You see what I'm saying? From a content standpoint, because I don't respect where you're coming from. I don't, because I know what you're doing. I've been doing it. Listen, they've been doing this before I was born, and when I'm dead and gone, it's still going to be here. You guys are either ignorant or you are intentionally using these talking points in order to continue to perpetuate a narrative that doesn't exist because you want to ride with the guy who got his ass whooped. This guy is a multi-millionaire. I'm pretty sure he's not paying you guys a dime, right? He's very privileged in America. Jet black man from Alabama. Country as hell. This man is very privileged, right? But he can't box. This is all Jermell Charlo said. He can't box. He lost because he didn't know how to box. How do I know? He didn't know how to fight off the back foot as soon as Tyson Fury came at him. He didn't know how to fight off the back foot, right? So when you tell me that this guy is 10 times better than Ali inside of the ring, how in the hell is he 10 times better than Ali inside of the ring when a nigga can't fight off the back foot? Explain that to me. He can't fight off the back foot. He doesn't know, he doesn't do a lot of body work. He doesn't do head movement like he should, how to slip punches. He doesn't know how to feint like he should. He does a little basic feint every now and then, but you know, he excels at fighting flat-footed fighters. Like a Lewis King Kong Ortiz, people who just gonna stand there in front of him. So come on, man, tell me. So listen, we're not gonna play this race card today. Keep your race card. I ain't buying it, homie. I'm not interested in your race card. Keep the race card. Listen, I learned from the best. I learned from Louis Farrakhan. You don't get no bigger than that from a teacher when you want to understand the racial element and how to attack it in America and become race hustlers. The professional race hustlers, the good race hustlers are millionaires. Al Sharpton, Farrakhan, who else? Jesse Jackson, Ben Crump, the lawyer. These are professional race hustlers. They make big money. Race is big business. You know what I mean? I don't buy the victimhood mentality, homie. Not me. Homie, don't play that. I don't buy it. I used to buy it, though. I bought it for 25, 26 years of my life. 24 and a half years of that was in the NOI. So I get it. I get it. I sent thousands of dollars to the number 2 poor. If you've been in the Nation of Islam, you know what the number 2 poor is. That's the money that you send directly to Louis Farrakhan. We gotta protect the leader. We gotta send the leader our money. I know dudes who broke, lost their houses, got kicked out of their house. You see what I'm saying? So anyways, that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about now. We have a lot of cognitive dissonance going on in the YouTube universe right now and on YouTube. Cognitive dissonance. This is what cognitive dissonance is, right? I want to make sure I get the proper wording for it. I want to make sure I get the proper wording for it. Cognitive dissonance is the state of having inconsistent thoughts, beliefs, or attitudes, especially as it relates to behavioral and attitude change. Let me repeat that. Cognitive dissonance. Listen to this definition, and this is exactly one of the things that's going on in the YouTube universe. Cognitive dissonance is the state of having inconsistent thoughts. Deontay Wilder, beliefs or attitudes, especially as it relates to behavioral and attitude change. This is what's going on right now, right? Confirmation bias, guys, confirmation bias is the tendency to interpret new evidence as confirmation of one's existing belief or theories. I'm gonna give an example of that. If I believe that Tyson Fury cheated, if I believe that he has egg wakes in his glove, when I see a video that Young Pharaoh puts out, and Young Pharaoh makes his case to say, hey, Tyson Fury had the padding misses from his glove. Or if I say, hey, well, Tyson Fury cheated in the past, or whatever the case may be, this is proof that he did this. This confirms. Why does it confirm that? Because Blue said it. Blue said facts. Facts, my peoples. Facts. Just because he says facts, don't make it facts. Shout out to Blue. But just because he says facts, don't make it facts. Just because Young Pharaoh, shout out to Young Pharaoh, the brother who came from the Black conscious community, Sinetta TV, shout out to Sinetta TV. He came from that element. I remember when he got out of prison. Don't know the brother personally, but I remember when he stepped on the scene with the Armor Raw Squad and all of that stuff there. But anyways, just because a person, he found something to support his claim. But this is the problem. Anytime that you find something to support what you already want to believe, there's someone that can come with a counter narrative to debunk everything that you just put up. Someone like me, though, I can come with a counter narrative. I can easily put together a slideshow and show you guys something. And I will use Deontay Wilder's own words against him. I got him. I'm not going to drop what the title of the video is going to be. It's going to be a premiere video, but I'm going to drop it because I'm going to debunk everything he said. And I'm going to use every word that he said leading up to the second fight. There was no conspiracy against you. What you need to understand is this. Jermell Charlo is being wrongfully persecuted by the black YouTube media right now. These so-called pro-black channels. We got to ride for the brothers. You niggas is full of shit. You ain't riding for no brothers. You riding for your own narrative. You are race baiters. That's what you are. You care nothing about black people in America. You care about your narrative. You care nothing about that. You the same dudes that said, I wish Sugar Hill would have died in the car fire. He's black. You the same dudes that sent Jermell Charlo, that sent Mark Breland death threats based on a lie that was perpetuated by the twerkinator. And I'm supposed to sit here and accept this foolishness and be quiet. Ain't nobody scared of y'all. Y'all ain't no John Gotti. Y'all ain't no Sammy the Bull. Y'all ain't no Frank Lucas or nobody like that. You are YouTubers, content creators in the sport of boxing. That's all you are. Nothing more, nothing less. That's it. Now you might be more than that to your families. You see what I'm saying? But outside of that, that's all you are. You ain't no gangsters, homie. You ain't no killers. Nobody's scared of you. You push narratives. race baiting narratives because your king got his ass whooped. Instead of him sitting back saying, you know what, man, I made this mistake, I made that mistake, I made this mistake, I made that mistake. I need to work on some things as it relates to the sport of boxing, and this will allow me to win victorious in the next fight. You made excuse after excuse, accusation after accusation after accusation. And I'm not even a Tyson Fury fan. So for all you guys saying, oh, he capping for Tyson Fury, man, I don't really care nothing like that about Tyson Fury. I'm not even a Tyson Fury fan. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't even that. But I'm damn sure not a Deontay Wilder fan. I used to be a Deontay Wilder fan, and I thought he learned his lesson, but I see he did. There's a good chance that Wilder might get his ass beat again. I'm going to tell you why. Because he ain't learned his lesson. He's still pushing. As a matter of fact, he hasn't lightened up. He tightened up. He's gotten worse. Now he's saying he had a juju spell all over him. No, my man, Jermell Charlo was right. You lost because you lack boxing skills. And you fought the better fighter that night. Now, what's going to happen July 24th? Is it a possibility that Deontay Wilder can win? Of course it is. I want the brother to win. Do you want to know why? Because if he don't win, I'm afraid his followers is going to be on suicide watch. And I don't want to see nothing happen to those guys. So to prevent them from being on suicide watch, let's hope that Deontay Wilder can win this fight. He can get his dignity back. You see what I'm saying? He can stop making excuses. Get his dignity back. And stop lying and making all these false accusations. I'm not talking about, do you notice this, guys? Every time they talk about these accusations about Deontay Wilder, about Tyson Fury, they stick to the glove. But they don't talk about the water bottle gate no more. They don't talk about the costume gate no more. They don't talk about the mask that Deontay Wilder wore on the night of the fight. When he took it off, he said he was feeling funny in the ring anymore. They don't talk about the crab in the bucket referee Kenny Bates anymore. They don't talk about JD's, he was in the locker room watching Tyson Fury get his hands wrapped and watching the gloves get put on, and he inspected the gloves. They don't talk about that. They keep talking about the glove. What about, they don't talk about, oh, he had COVID. Like my brother Fred say, he thought that Wilder had COVID. Now they don't talk about, oh, Wilder said he had juju on him. So Tyson Fury being a gypsy, I guess he put juju on him. They don't talk about that no more. Do you notice that? They stick to the glove narrative. But wait a minute. The man said 10, 15 different excuses why he lost. Which one is it? No. Could it be that Tyson Fury just was a superior boxer? You wasn't ready. You wasn't prepared. How do I know you wasn't ready? You wasn't prepared? Because when the bell rang, ding, ding, Tyson Fury ran towards you. And when he ran towards you, you sat there like a deer, and you sat there like a deer wide open in the middle of headlights. You didn't know what to do. Oh my God, I got to go backwards. What am I going to do? You didn't train for it. You didn't prepare for it. You didn't listen to Mark Breland. Now you have a glorified yes man in Malik Scott in your corner, telling you that you 10 times better than Muhammad Ali, inside the ring and outside the ring. If that's not a glorified yes man, I don't know what the hell is. Malik, I took a dive against Deontay Wilder. Scott, that guy. I don't believe you, as Deontay Wilder would say. Malik Scott, when you say that Wilder is 10 times better than Muhammad Ali inside the ring and outside the ring. And he's been through 10 times more things and fought more battles, 10 times more battles outside the ring than Muhammad Ali ever has. Nigga, please miss me with that bullshit. How in the hell you gonna say something like that? Malik Scott, you 41 years old. You're not a fool, Malik Scott. You's a goddamn fool. Because only a goddamn fool would say something like that. And I like Malik Scott, but I've lost respect for you for saying some foolish stuff like that out of your mouth. Call me a coon, I do not care. Call me a sellout, I do not care. Call me an Uncle Tom, I do not care. Your words don't hurt me, sir. None of you guys' words hurt me. It don't. You have a low IQ. You know nothing. Your narrative comes from the alphabet boy community. And they either slow their damn self or they pushing a certain narrative in order to continue to get super chats. Other than that, I'm not knocking the hustle. Continue to hustle your fan base, homie. Get your money. I'm not mad at you for getting your money. But I'm pretty sure when you look at your analytics, when you look at your YouTube analytics, your fan base, the Alphabet Boy fan base, are probably from Most of their viewers are from the ages of 18 to probably 35 years old. They have young subscribers who probably have not lived life long enough. Shout out to Y2K for the $5 super chat. Shout out to you, fam. I wanted Wilder because media hated on him. I'm about getting a contractual third fight, but damn, if he wins, he's going to be verbally unbearable to hear. Yeah, but I'd rather him be verbally unbearable to hear than for his fanboys to be on suicide watch. I'd rather that. I want to see Wilder win, man, to be honest with you, because if his fanboys going to be on suicide watch. They talk about conspiracy theories, but these guys are some of the biggest conspiracy theories I've ever heard. Now let's do a recap. Jermell Charlo, we riding for Jermell Charlo. I'm a ride for him. Do I agree with everything Jermell Charlo says? No. But I'm not going to call him a coon all the time and sell out and say I'm not going to support him anymore. The hell with Jermell Charlo, and I hope something bad happens to him, all because he doesn't support the twerkinators narrative. Oh, so y'all cool with that, huh? You ride around in that big body Benz, huh? You like fighters who like to twerk and make excuses, huh? You mad at me because I don't want to follow your narrative, huh? You's a race hustler, huh? You do this thing for super chats, huh? You like to put it down, huh? You look like a clown, huh? Come on, man. Let's be real with this, fam. Let's be real with this. Let's be real with this. You see what I'm saying? Really though, right? So I see, the Alphabet Boy supporters. They come to the chat now. They say what they gotta say. I won't even acknowledge you anymore. You get no energy from me. I see what you're saying, and I'm gonna totally ignore you because you're looking for attention. I'm not giving you the attention anymore. It's over with. Now, Jermell Charlo is not a coon. Jermell Charlo is not a sellout. Jermell Charlo is not Uncle Tom. He spoke his truth. He spoke facts, and I totally agree with what Jermell Charlo said because I've been saying this the whole time. I agree with Jermell Charlo. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes when you're standing on certain principles, you got to stand up for it and you got to take whatever come with it. I'm willing to take whatever come with it. You want to know why? Because I know my experiences in life. And I know what I'm saying is the truth. You see what I'm saying? You guys don't care nothing about black people. You guys care about narratives. You are narrative pushers, race baiting hustlers. This is what you do. And you are suckers for this. And your followers who subscribe to it, they suckers for subscribing to it. More than likely, they grew up in a fatherless home. They didn't have their daddy in their lives, and they look at you guys as their father figures. Understandably so. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But guess what? I'm 47 years old, homie. I'm an independent thinker. I'm a free-thinking black man in America. You ain't gonna sell me. You ain't gonna sell me on that narrative anymore. I bought that when I was 17 years old. When I was 17 years old, I fell into that trap. The victimhood mentality. We gonna bang on the white man. We gonna take it to the system. Power, that's right. That's what I'm talking about, brother. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Let's do it. As soon as your ass go to jail, get shot, get killed, or whatever the case may be, them same dudes gonna be laughing at you. Trust me, this is how it works. Diallo Huggy said, remember, they turned their backs on Jamal a few months ago when he said he didn't think Fury cheated. Yeah, exactly. This is what they do. They're gonna be on suicide watch, man. They're gonna be on suicide watch. Captain Al Pacino said Ali got cheated against Sonny Liston when he put that substance on his gloves to try to blind Ali. I don't want to hear Wilder make excuses. Get it back in blood and shut up. Exactly. Do what you said you're gonna do. Do what you said you're gonna do. You said you're gonna get it back in blood. Get it back in blood. That's all you got to do. Bounce back, champ. You was a champion before, Wilder. You can't become a champion again. But you're not gonna become a champion if you don't accept the reason why you lost in the first place. If you lost because the WBC conspired against you, if you lost because Nevada Athletic Commission conspired against you, if you believe you lost because Tyson Fury put egg weights in his gloves and he took padding out of his gloves, if you lost because of a referee who was a crab in the bucket, the same referee who took points from Tyson Fury, the same referee which was black who took points from Tyson Fury. If you believe that, Mark Breland spiked your water, drug you, if you believe that Mark Breland shouldn't have threw the towel in, if you believe that the costume that you wore your legs out, if you believe that the mask that you wore affected you in the ring, if you believe that Tyson Fury put some kind of juju on you, if you believe that you had COVID before the fight started, if you believe all of these things were the reason why you lost, then guess what? Your ass gonna lose again. Because when you lose, you look at the film, you look at the tape, and you study what went wrong in this fight. Oh, I didn't do this. I didn't do that. I didn't counter here when he did this. When he threw the left jab, I should have slipped the punch and came with a left hook to the body. I didn't do that. You see what I'm saying? Or when he threw the left jab, I should have slipped on the inside and gave him a straight jab to the body to the solar plex. I should have did that. If you didn't look at that and pull that way from that film, if the only thing that you looked at, bro, if the only thing that you got out of that fight was that you were cheated and the whole world conspired against you, when these very same people helped you get to where you was at. You got 2 white managers, but you pro-black. And you say, and this is what I want to say. This is what I want to say too, guys. A lot of these YouTube channels out there who talk about the pro-blacks, they don't, you know, and they talk about the pro-blacks, right? They don't even have black wives. Why am I bringing this up? Because yesterday it was a brother on the chat who said Jermell Charlo is married to a Mexican woman. He don't even have a black woman as a wife. Well, guess what? Some of your most powerful leaders don't have black women as wives. Did you know that? Some of them didn't have black men as husbands. Some of those same dudes in the alphabet boy community have biracial children. Now, I'm not trying to bring their children and families into this. I'm trying to show you the hypocrisy. I'm trying to show you the hypocrisy in this and the contradictions in this. You would attack Jermell Charlo and bring up his wife, what her complexion is, what her ethnicity is, and her race and nationality is, to discredit him, while at the same time listening to the alphabet boy channels who have white wives and Asian wives their goddamn self. Make that make sense to me. Make that make sense to me. I'm trying to make sense out of nonsense. You so pro-black, you see what I'm saying, that you marry and date outside of your race. Now, me personally, I don't care who you date outside of your race. Who you love is who you love. That's not the big deal. But the thing is, somebody in the chat yesterday want to bring up Jermell Charlo to try to tear him down, all because he did not go with the narrative. So Jermell Charlo, if you ever see this live, sir, this video, sir, I'm riding with you. Coach Malachi Williams of New Media Today USA Boxing, I'm riding with you. Period. So this dude down here say, your mom's a coward, Bobby Cass. Bye, Felicia. I'll holler at you, Bobby. Come back with under another avatar. You gone. This is the anti-fanboy channel. This is the anti-fanboy channel. Period. Bottom line, you don't like it? Alphabet Boy supporters, this ain't the channel for you. Bye, Felicia. You can go. You can go. We don't need you over here. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna call it like it is. Jermell Charlo, we riding for you. I'm gonna ride for you. I don't give a damn what none of them say. I'm going to take the shots and the arrows with you. And I don't know Jermell Charlo personally. Never met the brother before in my life. I don't have a dog in the race. So I'm not capping for him because I get interviews with him like certain channels. Or I get interviews with certain boxers, so I got to toe the line. I don't give a damn if I get one interview from a professional boxer. Currently boxing in the sport of boxing or in the past. I care nothing about that. I love the sport of boxing more than I love an individual fighter. If they come on my channel and talk and want to rock with me and let me interview them, cool, I'm all good for that. If they don't, cool, I'm all good for that too. I'm from Florida, homie. We don't do no dick ride. We don't do no D-riding over here. I don't D-ride for interviews, and I don't D-ride for subscribers. I don't D-ride for super chats. So I don't do that. Not me. I wasn't raised that way. I stand on my principles. I'm going to live on it, fight on it, and I'm going to die on it. Period. Because I know what it's like to be on the other side. Because I used to be one of the alphabet boys. I used to be just like them. Race baiting, race hustling, and attack anybody that's black that doesn't agree with my narrative. I know how toxic that is. So this is why I'm passionate about it. You can send them all, I don't care. I defeat them all one by one in this debate when it comes to this. I'm a vet at this. I really am. I'm a vet at this. I've been doing this a long time. I'm almost 50. You can see the gray hairs. Getting there. Gray hairs. I'm almost 50. I've been doing this a long time. I'm one of the only few on this YouTube channel platform that looks like me, that's willing to stand up in the paint boldly and say this, knowing the heat and the flack that I'm going to get from people who look just like me. I know the heat I'm going to get, but I can handle it. You want to know why I can handle it? I work out every day because I'm prepared. I'm built for this. I'm built for this. I can handle it. I can handle whatever slander, whatever insults, whatever they say about me, I can handle that. It doesn't bother me. It rolls off of my back like a duck, like water rolls off a duck's back. Literally. So I can handle it. It doesn't matter to me. I got a lot more stuff I can read on the phone. But guess what? I'm not gonna go over my other notes. I'm gonna make a video addressing all of the contradictions of Deontay Wilder. I'm gonna break him down like a 57 Chevy. I hope, Wilder, if anybody on your team see this video and they send this to you, and then they turn around and say, yo, this is the dude that's attacking you and yada, 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 and they don't like it. I hope, sir, that my video is one of the videos that will motivate you, sir, to tighten up and get in the ring and get your belt back. I hope that, Punch, what you say, fam? We getting heat together, brother. It's easy work, though. Yeah, it is. It's easy work. It is easy work, Punch. And shout out to Lady Shan, man. Shout out to Punch Drunk Boxing. Listen, guys, please go to Lady Shan's channel, subscribe to her channel. Please subscribe to my sister's channel, Lady Shan. Please subscribe to Punch Drunk Boxing channel. Please subscribe to Blood Boxing's channel. He's not here right now. And support to my sister Karma Sareem. Salute to you, sis. I see you, sis. You see what I'm saying? Pillow hand. And check this out, guys. Let me go ahead and address this. Remember when Wilder said that Tyson Fury was pillow fisted? Remember, guys, Mr. Sinister. Who is this? Is that the truck driver? Anyways, remember, shout out to my brother Charlo in the chat. Remember, shout out to Ronald Finkley in the chat. Remember when Wilder said that Tyson Fury was pillow fisted. And remember when his fans said Tyson Fury ain't never been no power puncher. He ain't never hit that hard. You're right. Wilder said that Tyson Fury was so pillow fisted. Tyson Fury was so pillow fisted that he couldn't even knock me out in the fight. That was proof that he doesn't hit hard. So how you gonna complain and say Tyson Fury was pillow fisted, but he couldn't knock you out in the second fight? So that support what you're saying. He was pillow fisted, right? But check this out. I'm gonna tell you guys something that you guys didn't look at. When you look at a lot of Deontay Wilder's fanboys, they sit back and say, oh, man, you know, if you look at Tyson Fury, how in the hell he was able to put a dent on the side of Deontay Wilder's head? You see what I'm saying? He ain't never punched out hard before. In the first fight, look how he punched in the first fight. You fools! Do you want to know why he didn't punch hard like that in the first fight? Because he was fighting off of the back foot. If you know anything about boxing, and I boxed for 5 years when I was a kid. If you know anything about boxing, you generate more power from your punches moving forward than you do moving backwards. Tyson Fury in the first fight, he fought Deontay Wilder fighting backwards. So when he threw his punches, he was not able to sit on his punches and put weight behind his punches. This is why his punches was pillow fisted when he was hitting you, sir. But did you notice the difference in the second fight? In the second fight, he sat on his punches. He came forward. Instead of fighting backwards, he became front foot dominant. And guess what he did? He dominated you. This is why you said you had a dent on the side of your skull. This is why, sir. He was front foot dominant. So for all you low IQ Deontay Wilder fanboys and low IQ Alphabet Boy channel fanboys, understand this. I know you never had a fight before in your life. You'll probably be the first one to quick to pick up a gun and shoot your brother in a heartbeat because you can't fight and you never fought before. I understand that. But if you fight somebody front foot dominant, or when you throw a punch, you land that punch on them, that punch is going to be a lot harder and a lot more effective on that individual versus someone who punches you going backwards. Apparently you didn't know this. Because if you did know this, you would have figured that out yourself. Right? You would have figured that out yourself. Shout out to Shelton Moore, my brother Shelton Moore. Shout out to JC. And let me go ahead and drop a link in the description. Let me go ahead and drop. And listen, man, my brother Punch say he be getting death threats in his emails and stuff like that. Why Wilder not arranged fights with other heavyweights that was managed by the same manager? Easy fights to make. Exactly. My man Punch say he received death threats. He received more death threats on his email. He lost count. Yeah, exactly. That's what we need to do, Punch. Make a video of it. These dudes are losers, man. These dudes are young kids. They're probably 18 to 35 years old, never left their mama's house. They look at the alphabet boys as their father figures, and they feed their inferior complex about themselves. These guys more than likely are failures in society, and they need something to reaffirm their lack of success in society. Period. That's what it is. That's what it is, right? So it's a whole lot of, listen, when I drop this premiere video, it's going to be the video of all videos. It's going to be like when Nas dropped Ether against Jay-Z in probably what, that was 2000, something like that? In like 2000, I forgot when Ether dropped. When Nas dropped Ether, I'm fixing to Ether their ass. Ether in one video. And I'm going to use the Twerkinators' own words against them. I'm going to use their talking points. I'm not going to use any of my talking. I'm going to use their talking points. 2002 thanks points. I'm going to use their talking points. It's very easy to use their talking points. Wilder has a treasure trove of contradictions that he put out there on the internet. What I'd advise you to do, Wilder, is try to get all of those interviews that you gave pulled from the internet, because I'm going to use that as ammunition against you, sir. I'm going to use that as ammunition against the alphabet boy community. I'm going to use your words as ammunition to defeat you. It's not going to be anything that Coach Malachi Williams say. It's going to be everything that you said out of your fat mouth. It's going to be everything that the alphabet boy channels said out of their fat mouth. It's going to be everything that Deontay Wilder said out of his mouth. It's going to be everything that his supporters said out of their mouths. That's what I'm using. When you point one finger, you got three more coming back at you. I learned that in the Nation of Islam. When you point one finger, you got three more coming back at you. You see what I'm saying? This is going to be easy work. So, please stop sending my brother Punch death threats. I know that you guys are saying that Punch is racist and all that stuff there. I totally disagree with that. You see what I'm saying? I totally disagree with that, but I'm going to get back on topic. As it relates to my brother Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo, so, sir, Coach Malachi Williams is riding for you. I'm going to stand up in the paint for you. If they can stand up in the paint for Deontay Wilder, I'm going to stand up in the paint for Jermell Charlo. Absolutely. I know it's against popular belief. I know that I'm not supposed to stand up against the mighty alphabet boy channels. I know I'm not supposed to stand up against the Twerkinator. Guess what? I'm standing up against him. Against all odds. I'm standing up against him. I'm a 24-and-a-half-year vet when it comes to race hustling. I'm a 24-and-a-half-year vet when it comes to race baiting. I'm a 24-and-a-half-year vet when it comes to being racist and hating people for the color of their skin and making excuses when I'm not successful in life. I'm a 24-and-a-half-year vet and blaming the white man when things don't go my way. Literally. So I care nothing about the narrative, brothers. I care nothing about it. I really don't. I really don't. I care nothing about the narrative. Let me put this back in my ear. Sorry about that, guys. I care nothing about the narrative. I really don't. I don't. You see what I'm saying? I don't. Listen, I'm a very smart, intelligent individual. Blaming Whitey is very profitable in America. I was born in 1974, right? Before I was born, they've been doing this. During my lifetime, my 47 years on earth, the race hustling and race baiting is still going on. It's big business. Al Sharpton has made a career out of race hustling Black Americans. Corporate shakedowns. Jesse Jackson has made a career out of it. Louis Farrakhan has made a career out of it. Yeah, I know I get flack from the NOI. Y'all weak now, though. NOI was real strong back in the day, but right now, weak in the sugar water. Weak in the sugar water. You probably got 10, 15 members right now. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to bring that up in this chat. Jermell Charlo, keep doing you, sir. Right now, I respect you. I love the fact that you are an independent thinker. I love the fact that Jermell Charlo, this is what I want to say to you, sir. Do not let these people bully you. Do not let these people make you back down, and do not let them make you apologize. You stand up on your principles, because I promise you, I ain't apologizing for nothing. The only way I apologize is if I say something that is wrong and is inaccurate and incorrect. If I say something that is wrong and that's inaccurate and incorrect in public, I will apologize in public. Do you want to know why? Because that's what men do. Apologizing is not a sign of weakness. Apologizing is a sign of strength. That shows that you are strong enough to drop your false pride and false bravado in order to apologize for the wrong that you have committed towards somebody with your words, actions, or deeds. Because I had a fool, I'm not going to say his name, but I had a fool, from, hold on, guys, hold on. All right, guys, sorry about that. That was a very important phone call. That was a phone call from a brother that's from the well, I don't want to say he's from the LDBC. I don't want to say that. But that was my brother Fred Barbershop. That was Fred Barbershop. So I'll get into that later on. We'll get into that later on. But anyways, back to what I was saying, guys. You know, I have some experiences in life. At 47 years old, I've been through a lot. I done been shot twice. I know what it's like to have these on you. I know what it's I know what it's like. I just know what it's like. I've been through some things. I'll say that. I'm not gonna get into it right here, but I've been through some things in life. And I have brothers who still follow that same narrative right now to this day. They still follow that same narrative. And I'm not trying to change their minds. But they tripped out when I changed. Because let me tell you something, guys. I was so radical. I was the LDBC followers times 10. I was the most militant of the militant. I was the most irrational of the irrational. I was the most racist of the racists. I was the most hate-filled of the hate-filled. When they talking about we gonna bang on the beast, bruh, I can tell you guys some stories that I can't tell on YouTube, but bruh, it's some things that I know, man, that was done. I'm telling you. You see what I'm saying? It is what it is. It is what it is. So some of you people may feel like I'm dogging Deontay Wilder. No, I'm defending Jermell Charlo. I'm defending Jermell Charlo. I don't agree with what the other YouTube channels are saying about Jermell Charlo. I don't agree with it. So if I offend you because I'm not towing the line, I can't apologize for that. Because I've been through some things in life to know that it's foolishness. I'm saying for me, it's foolishness. You see what I'm saying? We black people have never been a one monolithic group of people. We have never all thought the same and moved as a unit together. We have never done that since the beginning of time. We have always done things counter to that. I was going to say something, but I'm not even going to say it right here. But I may say it one day. That's another topic for another channel. I had to try to water it down, but I'm not going to say it right here today. When I started this YouTube channel back in January, guys, I had no idea that it was going to grow the way it's growing. I had no idea that the racial element was as strong in the sport of boxing. When I started my channel was going to be a channel about politics, because I know a lot about politics. I know a lot about race and religion. I have so many books that I have read, that I studied and I researched. That's one thing I did get out from my grandfather, Minister Kareem Abdul Muhammad. He taught me how to do a lot of research. And my teachers in high school, because I was on a debate team in high school, she taught me how to do research. And she was white. She taught me how to do research. And I had a Spanish teacher taught me how to do research. And then I had another brother named Alan Thompson. He was my real estate teacher. I had a long conversation with him one day, and he taught me how to just view life kind of differently and do research as well. You see what I'm saying? Les Brown. A lot of people I study. Les Brown. I studied them all, damn near all of them. A lot of them. So I know both arguments. I know both sides. I really do. I just ain't gonna push the narrative. So a lot of my friends who are still involved in that way of thinking, they look at me like, man, I don't lost my rocker. They look at me like, man, this dude is a coon now. He's a sellout. And some of these dudes are street dudes. I ran with them in the street. They street guys. Some of these dudes are street guys. So they know, they know. You see what I'm saying? But they know I'm the same thing that they are as well. Right? They know that. Well, they know I was that. I'm not that anymore. I've evolved. You know, I don't view the world at the age of 47 the way I did at 27. You see what I'm saying? So I'm taking up for Jermell Charlo. There's nobody on the internet that's probably got a video that's taking up for Jermell Charlo like this. I'm taking up for him. I'm going to take all the shots from this way. I'm going to take the shots from that way, from behind me, from the side. I'm going to take the shots from everywhere. Guess what? I'm okay. I'll be all right. You want to know why? Because the words ain't going to hurt me, man. This is just a YouTube platform. That's all it is. This is a YouTube platform. We are content creators. I am a content creator in the sport of boxing. I had no idea that the sport of boxing was as toxic as it is today. You have politics in the sport of boxing. You have race hustling in the sport of boxing. Race baiting in the sport of boxing. This is what we have. I ran away from that, come over here thinking everything gonna be Gucci. And guess what? I jumped out the frying pan and jumped right into the fight. And I realize that now. I had no idea what I was getting involved in when I started this YouTube channel in January. If I would have done my research properly, which I didn't, if I would have done my research properly, I would have known that this level of ignorance is runs deep in the YouTube community. I call it ignorance because it is ignorant. To me, it is. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if you're broke and ain't got no money, but you still got a victim mentality, don't tell me what the problem is. Don't come to me with the problem. Come to me with the solution. Shout out to Pitbull. Don't come to me with the problem. Come to me with the solution. If the problem is the white man, tell me what the solution is. If the problem is a lack of opportunities in your community, tell me what the solution is. If the problem is, man, I ain't got no money, I'm broke, tell me what the solution is. Don't come to me with the problem. There are those in society that make a profit off of continuously reminding you of what the problem is. And most of the time, the problem that they say it is not that at all. The problem that they say it is not that. Most of the time. It's not the problem. Most of the time. They have a distorted view, a worldview of things in life in order to keep money in their pocket. Because most of the people, the average working class people, or especially if you're young, you're very naive. You don't have enough experience in life to understand certain dynamics and how you are getting played. You are being played like suckers. If the end of the sermon ends with we need a donation, you are being race hustled. If the end of the sermon is I'm appealing to your emotions and not your intellect, this is how you know you're being hustled, you're being played. When someone makes an argument to you, if they make an emotional appeal to you, they are appealing to your emotions and not your intellect. Guess what? You're being hustled. Because people do strange things when they are emotional, especially Black Americans. Black Americans are very emotional. So when you hear trigger words, these are trigger words: white supremacy, systemic racism, discrimination. When you hear those things coming out of the mouths of people who are millionaires, they are selling a product which is victimhood. And they're selling it to a group of people who buying what they're selling, who picking up what they're putting down. If you see a press conference, if you see the camera crew from CNN standing right in front of the guy, and he has a microphone right there, and he has a whole bunch of people from the chitlin circuit right behind him, and he's saying, and you know what we got to do? We got to vote, and we got to make sure that we fight this systemic racism, and we have to do this, and we have to do that, and yada, 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 and we will not stop, and we will not stand for this anymore. And then when he leave, he get the check. While you still out there on the ground looking crazy, he get the check, and he goes on to the next city, and he's doing the same thing. You're being race hustle. You're being race hustle. Deontay Wilder, sir, you are not a victim. You are a living proof of overcoming adversity. Instead of talking about that story, instead of talking about, look, man, I came from Okaloosa, Alabama, which you have talked about that in the past, and you overcame several things. You started boxing and fighting because you wanted to help your daughter, which is very, very beautiful, man. It's very beautiful. I take my hat off to Deontay Wilder for him to accomplish the things that he has accomplished in his life with limited boxing skills. I take my hat off to that brother for doing that. But you lost, and I was a huge fan of Deontay Wilder. As Blue would say, facts. Facts. I was a fan of Deontay Wilder. But as soon as I saw the racial element coming into play in the second fight, I started looking at him sideways. Rooted for him to win, though, but I started looking at him sideways. When I saw him lose and get his behind beat, and I heard all of the excuses that transpired after the fight, months and months after the fight, I said, man, I can't rock with this. I support Deontay Wilder, the fighter, but I can't support Deontay Wilder, the excuse maker. I can't support Deontay Wilder, the excuse maker. I can't do that. I'm not going to do that because a real man don't make excuses. A real man say, you know what? There's a problem. I need to find a solution to the problem. That's what I was taught. I was taught that in the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam teaches you no excuses. What is the fruit? A fruit is the best part of the planet Earth. You say you're a God, right? The black man, the teachings of the Nation of Islam, they teach you that you're a God, right? And so a lot of these channels, they want to use the NOI talking points. You say you're a God, you're a king. Well, guess what? Gods and kings don't make excuses. Gods and kings don't make excuses. I've never seen a God that made excuses. I've never seen a king that make excuses. Never in my life. How in the hell you a king, but you making excuses for failure? Use failure as a learning lesson to allow you to succeed in the next time. Gods don't make excuses. The God I pray to don't make no damn excuse. He said be and it is. Kings don't make excuses. You know what kings do? They rule. So if you are the king that you say you are, Deontay Wilder, why in the hell are you making excuses? If, for all of you Wilder supporters, if your king is the king that you say he is, why are you mad at Jermell Charlo for calling him out for the excuses that he's making? And tell me this, riddle me this, Batman. Riddle me this, Batman. Wilder kept JD's on his team. In an interview that he gave to Hype, the Fight Hype, the guy asked him a question. I heard that you got rid of JD's. He said, who told you that? Who told you that? Who told you that? Where you heard that from? He said, well, I know you got rid of JD's because you said that Wilder, you said that Fury had egg waste in his gloves, yada, 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 yada. And JD's was right there watching the gloves get wrapped. Do you know what Deontay Wilder said? You would think that he would throw the white man into the bus like he did the black man. Guess what he did? He took up for the white man. He defended the white man in JD's. Now, am I making this racial? No, I don't give a damn whether he white or black. But let me find out what he said. Wilder justifies keeping JD's. And Wilder's pro-black, right? He said because JD's is inexperienced, which disallowed Tyson Fury to cheat. So he said JD's is inexperienced. He didn't know what was going on in the locker room. The only problem with that is JD's has been in your corner for 40-something fights. 40-something fights, he was experienced. All of a sudden, in the first fight with Tyson Fury, he was in there watching the gloves get wrapped and hand wraps, and watching his hands get wrapped and watching the gloves get put on. In the second fight, he was in there. Now all of a sudden, JD's not experienced. He don't know what's going on. So you give him a pass. If your main argument was Fury was cheating because he put egg weights in his gloves, why not hold the man responsible who was in the locker room and his only job was to make sure that you got a fair shake with the gloves? You kept JD's and threw the black man under the bus. I got a problem with that. But you're supposed to be pro-black. Nigga, please, miss me with that bullshit. How you pro-black, but you keep the white man and you get rid of JD's and you get rid of Mark Breland, the black man, the guy who taught you how to throw that right hand. The guy who made you a champion. You get rid of him, and the dudes from the Alphabet Boy community send this man death threats and give Sugar Hill death threats. You get rid of Mark Breland, but you keep JD's, and he was the one responsible to make sure Tyson Fury didn't cheat with the gloves. So if you really felt like Tyson Fury cheated, and you know you had a man on your team who was responsible for that, if Fury was able to cheat with the gloves, then your guy allowed him to cheat. Why in the hell is he still on your team? Make that make sense to me, sir. Mr. Wakanda, Twerkinator, Mr. Black Power, power to the people. Make that make sense to me. You keep him, but you get rid of Mark Breland. Nah, man. No, man. No. Look at this dude right here. I'm a fan, coach, but you always capping for people like Larry Elder and Candace Owens. I never said anything about Candace Owens. You don't know what you're talking about. They ain't on code. Listen, bro, you can keep your code talk. I can tell right now, brother, you're probably in your 20s and you don't know what you're talking about. You said you're a fan, but I totally disagree with you, sir. We can agree to disagree. And if what I'm saying, sir, allows you not to be a fan anymore, then so be it. I'm not looking for fans, brother. I'm looking for critical thinkers. More than likely, you're probably a liberal and you have a liberal ideology. More than likely. And that's fine. You got a lot of learning to do, though. Keep breathing. You'll figure it out. Great sermon today, coach. You're touching on facts based on mainstream media. Yeah, I'm not going to push the narrative. I'm not doing that. I did that for 24 and a half years. Trust me, I'm a vet at it. And if I decided to get back in that community, I'll be one of the best at it. Shout out to Brother Polite. Shout out to even Young Pharaoh. Shout out to the young brother. He's a sharp dude. Shout out to the Armor Raw Squad. Shout out to Sinetta TV. I don't agree with a lot of stuff that some of them are saying, but I still send shout outs to them. Still send shout outs to them. You see what I'm saying? You know, so if I don't agree with it, bro, so be it. I'll be whatever you want. I'll be whatever you call me. I can handle it. Trust me, I can handle it. I got thick skin. My feelings don't get hurt that well. So we got another 30 minutes before we wrap up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to drop a link drop a link down here for anybody who want to get on. You know what I mean? Anybody want to get on? Anybody want to get on? You want to get on? Alpha, what's your name? Alpheus? You want to get on? You can get on. You 36-year-old in the military, you think critical, but I recognize grifters when I hear them. Those people are the people on racist site in their arguments. But what about the black races? What about the black races? Racism don't discriminate. You got a whole bunch of black races as well. Trust me, I was one of them. I was one of them. Trust me. You 36 in the military? Salute to you, brother. Salute to you. You want to come on, you can come in, though. We can chop it up. More than likely, we're going to agree to disagree. More than likely, we're going to agree to disagree. I can promise you that. We're going to agree to disagree. So that's it. You know what I mean? Anybody want to come in, they can come in. Anybody want to come in, they can come in. But we're gonna rock another 24. Oh, we got my brother Shelton. Shelton, what's going on, fam?
What's going on, big homie? How you doing?
Shout out to Shelton Moore, man. Shout out to my brother Shelton Moore.
Yeah, man, I was just listening, man. You was hitting on all the points that normal people would hit on. I mean, I got people. I hear all these narratives and people saying Wilder is a champion for Black people and he speaks on Black issues. I'd like to know what Black issue has he spoke on that didn't involve himself. What Black issue has he spoke on that involved the people? You know what I'm saying? If you can't see that this dude is out for himself, he pushed the narrative out there so he can secure himself another bag in the third fight. If you can't see that, it's because you don't want to see it. You buying into some bullshit because you wanted to believe it. And that's cool, because there's a lot of shit that goes on in America that's racist and fucked up. And we live in a country with a system that's set up for us not to succeed. That's the truth. But there are ways around it, and you can work within the system to get what you want to get if you're willing to put in the work. Just like he did. He found a talent that he had, and he capitalized on the talent. And it was working for 5 years or 6 years or however long he's been fighting. 13 years it's been working for him. But when he ran into some adversity and shit didn't go his way, instead of being a man and saying, you know what, I got beat, he got me tonight, let me go back to the lab, get my shit together, formulate a new plan, come back and whip his ass, he decided to make excuses and blame it on the white man. And now the whole system is against me. And that's some weirdo shit, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't weird when they gave you a gift decision in the first fight. It wasn't no racism.
Hey, listen,
Tyson Fury got busted cheating in 2016. So you telling me in 17, 18 you didn't know that? Come on, man. You couldn't take a loss. And you found a way to get out of it. And now you pushing this race bait and shit, and it's disgusting, man. You capitalizing on the racial divide in this country by pushing this narrative out there, and it's disgusting. I don't respect it.
For personal gain, you're doing it for personal gain, and that's the true definition of a race hustler. You know what I mean? When they do these things for personal gain, you see what I'm saying? His personal gain would be that he has to come with an excuse for why he lost. I get it, I understand it. You know what I mean? But we got a new person on. I don't even know who this is. What you want to talk about, brother? How to pronounce your name?
My name is Nderitu. Nderitu.
Nderitu. Okay, how you doing, brother? Where you from?
I'm good. I'm from Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya. I'm from Africa.
Okay, you from the continent of Africa. You from Kenya.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead,
yes,
brother. Speak your mind, brother.
What I can say, I feel so ashamed and embarrassed because of Deontay Wilder, because this guy just he participates in what I call black exploitation. He is using the race angle to market his fights for personal gain. Like, for instance, like you remember that time when he lashed out at Radio Raheem in 2018, like to this day. Remember when he did that?
For 400 years.
I remember.
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember when he did that to Radio Raheem, but this time they were pardoning Jack Johnson in the White House when Donald Trump was there, and he shook Donald Trump's hand. Honestly, I do not like Donald Trump, but Donald Trump doesn't speak to the. I don't know how he had the same tolerance to shake Donald Trump's hand, but Radio Raheem, he lashed out a fellow black man who was Radio Raheem. That hit me a certain way, because I felt like this guy tried to sell the race card, making it as a black versus white thing, and also in the second fight he tried to make it like in Black History Month, I'm gonna make Tyson Fury a Black History Month trivia question. He tried to use the race. He tried to use the race angle there, and also also bro, in the in this go around in the trilogy, he's trying to say it's white privilege that's making Tyson Fury like have this so-called quote unquote protection. But the funny thing about Deontay Wilder is this: all the time that George Floyd, God rest his soul, passed away through that incident, I didn't see Deontay Wilder in any demonstrations. I didn't see Deontay Wilder. The only video I saw, he released it when he was at his compound somewhere. He recited a poem. I think it was written for him, and he wasn't even in the demonstration. So I feel like he speaks to a lot of hollow and his fans are just deluded. And it's really embarrassing coming from me as an African. I just feel so embarrassed. He tries to he uses the race angle, and racism is something that's real, and he tries to monetize it in his fights. And I feel so embarrassed. I mean, he I don't know, man. That guy, man, I don't like him. I don't like him at all.
Let me ask you a question. What is the racial dynamic like in where you say you're from again? Nigeria or Kenya?
Nairobi, Kenya. Yeah.
What is the racial dynamic like in Nairobi, Kenya? I'm saying as it relates to I get it. White man is bad, they evil, yada 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 yada. But I want to know as it relates to do they have black on black crime in your country?
Yes, we do. Actually, we have a lot of black on black crime. Actually, it's black on black. I mean, black people turning on each other. But what I can say, Coach Malachi, is when it comes to a country like the one I am, when a white man comes to our country, he's somehow exalted. He's like put in this pedestal, like he does no wrong. I mean I can say the white man is pedestalized. He gets away with certain things when they do it, and I feel. That's the situation. Like the white man is pedestalized, and it's black on black, but the white guy is just put on a pedestal. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. So, is who controls your country? Like, do you have black leadership, black presidents, or black politicians?
Black president, black politician, all across the board. It's all black. It's all black.
So, if it's all black, I'm trying to figure out. I mean, you would think that because I'm gonna tell you something, but over here in America, right? In America, and I tell people, man, if you're not from America, man, you know, the racial dynamics, the political racial dynamics in America will just confuse you, because there's a certain segment. We have a culture that's very, very toxic in America that has not been addressed by the very same people who are being taught professional victimhood and just basically professional victimhood and how to make it, you know, how just basically how not to be if you're not doing good in life, it's because somebody's keeping you down. It's a system set up to keep you from failing. I said, okay, cool. Let's say I run with that narrative. How did Wilder become the multimillionaire he became? How did Oprah become the multimillionaire? No, forget that. Those are entertainers. Forget the entertainers. Forget the entertainers. I know brothers right now that come from Nigeria that's worth like $800,000, $900,000 or something like that. That's making big money. Hey, my battery going dead? Hold on, brother, hold on. All right. So I can show you countless of it. I can show you countless of examples of different people from ethnic groups who come to this country who come from terrible situations. You see what I'm saying? And they come to the racist KKK, worst country on the planet, America, and they excel over the people who were born here, who look just like me. So you have real issues in America, but everything ain't racism. It's an ism, but it's not racism. You see what I'm saying? Everything is not racism. Just because you don't get your way, it doesn't mean that there's a government against you or that there are people against you. They saying it's bigger than boxing. No, it's not. It's just boxing. When Jack Johnson fought, it was bigger than boxing. When Joe Louis fought, it was bigger than boxing. Hell, even when Muhammad Ali fought, you could probably say it was bigger than boxing. In 2021, it's just damn boxing. You got in the ring, you lost. This is the only issue that I have, brother. You got in the ring, you lost. What I don't like is we're attacking Jermell Charlo, not me, but they're attacking Jermell Charlo for going against the grain. He ain't on code. What the hell does code mean? I know what it means. I hear it a lot in the Black conscious community from a brother, Tariq Nasheed. Salute to Tariq Nasheed. He has a very profitable business in the race hustle community. Salute to him. But anyways, I hear a lot of that. We got to be on code. But we the main ones tearing each other down, calling each other coons, Uncle Tom, and stuff like that. Oh, he from Africa. He ain't one of us. Like if you come over here, brother, we'll say that you from Africa, you're not one of us. You from over there, you ain't one of us. You see what I'm saying? We Black Americans. So we got so much confusion going on, man. It's just, it's crazy. Don't get caught up in the racial dynamics of Black America. It would just confuse you. This is my answer to anyone who comes to this country. It'll just confuse you, brother. It'll just confuse you. So this has nothing to do, and I'm not trying to make this about race because I hate talking about it because it's very divisive. But we're attacking Jermell Charlo because he said that Wilder couldn't box. This is why he lost, and that he fought a superior fighter, basically, in Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury was the better guy. This is why he lost. This is what the brother said. And now he's a coon, a sellout, or Uncle Tom. We ain't rocking with him no more. None of that. All because of his opinion. So where have we, this community has become so toxic that you can't even state an opinion without the people who look like you attacking you. One thing about me, man, I would not be bullied in person or online. I hate bullies. I got bullied one time by a dude named Theodis Young, 1987. I was 13 years old. Theodis Young pulled the 38. First time I ever seen a gun, well, up and close. He pulled the 38 on me in the shopping mall. He put me close to him, put it to my stomach, and he told me to steal something from him in the store. I was shaking like hell. I had tears in my eyes. I thought I was going to die. 13 years old. This is a true story. I never told this story to anybody on the internet. There was another dude by the name of Kevin, dang, what my brother name? Kevin Reeves. Another dude named Kevin. I think his name Kevin Reeves, something like that. I forgot his name. He was right there. He told me, he said, man, listen, man, leave that dude alone, man. I was afraid of Theodis. So I hate bullies. 2 weeks later, he ended up playing, he killed himself, committed suicide. He was playing Russian roulette, shot himself in the closet in the housing projects called College Hill in Tampa, Florida. He killed himself. I was happy. I'm not going to say a lie to you because I was afraid of that dude. But when I got bullied that one time, I told myself it'll never happen again. I haven't been bullied since the age of 13. I'm damn sure ain't gonna let nobody bully me on the internet. It ain't happening. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I don't ride with no cliques. I'm not with no crews. I don't have any leaders or generals I follow. I did that in the NOI. That's over. My follower days is over, bro. Period. It ain't happening over here. Not me. I'm my own man. I stand on my own 2 feet. I can handle it. Trust me, I can handle it. You see what I'm saying? So other than that, bro, that's it, man. I really appreciate how to pronounce your name, brother, again.
Oh, it's Dennis Nderitu. Oh, and I just had one thing to add, right?
Yes, sir.
And I also do not like the spin job that the LDBC try to put in the sport of boxing. I feel it's very bad. I mean, they try to make it as if it's black. I don't know, like a black guy versus white guy scenario. When every time, and the funny thing is, they hate on the white guys, but they kept like the better part of like 3 years slandering and selling the image of Anthony Joshua, a fellow white guy, a fellow black guy. I mean, they slandered Dillian White. I mean, they talk so much bad things about Eddie Hearn, and in my eyes, I feel Eddie Hearn is a damn good promoter in boxing. Actually, I like promoters like that, and I feel it's very sad to see like the race angle is just played for profit, especially in boxing. For me, I'm a boxing fan, and I appreciate the sport of boxing. I just want to see the skill, just want to see the fight game. I just want to see how this guy overcame adversity, how he adapted on the ring, on the go. I mean, like professionally, my favorite boxer is Anthony Joshua. I mean,
I like Joshua too. I like Joshua.
Hey, look, bro. I'm not from the UK. I'm from Africa, but I rock with him. I feel like this guy, man, when he puts his mind to it, even if he encountered any adversity, like last year when he was upset by Andy. No, not last year. 2019 was upset by Andy Ruiz. He never gave excuses. He was like, he took it on the chin. He said, okay, let me go back to the drawing board. Let me check them films. Let me come back stronger. He 12 round masterclass, won them titles back, road to undisputed. He never ducks anyone. So I feel like, yeah, man. I mean, Wilder, I don't know if he's gonna get that title back from Tyson Fury, but anyway, we just have to find out on July 24th. As per the dates, they've been said. So, yeah, man, that's all I have to say.
Yes, sir, brother, man. Dennis, man, I really appreciate you for calling in, brother, man. Salute to you, brother. I wish more success to you and your family, and I really do hope everything work out for you, brother. You keep fighting. Don't let nobody tell you what you can't do because of a certain group. Is there such thing as racism? Of course it is. And hell to the yeah. I ain't no damn fool. Of course I know it's racism, but racism is not pinned on one group of people. It ain't just white people racist and everybody else ain't racist. There's a whole bunch of goddamn different races. Different people who are racist out there in the world. My mother was racist and I was racist. You know what I mean? So I'm telling you, and I'm not white last time I checked. So it's just a bunch of bullshit going on. But other than that, brother, that's it, man. I really appreciate the fact that you're taking the time out to rock with me, Dennis, man. Salute to you, fam. Shout out, man. Shout out to my brother, man, from Kenya, man. I really appreciate the brother coming in, man. Absolutely, man. You know, I don't believe in the propaganda. Slot Tennessee, what do you say, man? I grew up in the projects, Parkside, Dayton, Ohio. They bulldozer to the ground. My uncle got shot out there stealing crack, crackhead and died. Yeah, man, everybody got a story. Everybody got a struggle. Everybody done been through something, man, overcame adversity. As soon as I changed my mind and changed my thought process, bro, I took off like a rocket. I came up. I took off like a rocket and I came up. As soon as I got rid of that victimhood mentality and trying to relitigate the 60s in this era, trying to bring back the 30s and 40s in this era, the guys who are really good at it, they're making a lot of money doing the race hustling guys, the guys who are really good at it. So I'm not, I don't knock the hustle. I don't knock the hustle. I'm like, listen, man, if that's what y'all do to get money, man, so be it. I don't knock the hustle. You know what I mean? It's just that what I knock is I just don't see how is that going to be helpful. Like you're always telling me the problem, but you never come to me with the solutions. And you got to tell me something other than the solution is we got to stay on code. What the hell does that mean? These are ambiguous terms. We have to stay on code. Code meaning that you have to agree. Code meaning you have to agree with what I'm saying. You have to agree with the narrative, with what I'm saying. You're trying to make a situation racial when it had nothing to do with race. You lost a fight. That's all that happened. You lost a fight. Why in the hell are we attacking Jermell Charlo for stating the obvious? You don't train like you're supposed to. You make videos bragging about that you don't train like you're supposed to. You wasn't prepared. That's why you lost. So you saying Tyson Fury, he had something in his gloves. Shout out to my brother Dennis, man. I really appreciate you, brother. He said Tyson Fury had something in his gloves. Okay. I can even go with that, guys. Follow me for a minute. I can even go with Tyson Fury had something in his gloves. The only problem with that is you said 10 other things. You said Tyson Fury had air weights in his gloves. The pattern was taken out of his gloves. The referee was a crab in the bucket referee. My corner, Mark Breeden spiked my water. Mark Breeden threw the towel in. The costume wore my legs out. The mask affected my vision. Somebody put some kind of juju on me. And my brother Fred said that he think. Now, Fred didn't say this was fact. He said that in defense of Fred, he said that I think that he had COVID. We done heard 9 different things since then. And now we're hearing Tyson Fury won because he had the complexion for the protection. That allowed him to be able to cheat. The only problem with that is you got 2 white managers and it was the white judge that ruled in your favor. I bet y'all didn't know that. It was the white Jewish judge that ruled in Deontay Wilder's favor. So why did the white judge not conspire against him and rule in Tyson Fury's favor? Why the white judge said, you know what, this is what we're going to do. Since you don't have the complexion for the protection, I'm going to rule in Tyson Fury's favor. They try to oppress you and to keep you down. They keep you from trying to fight to win your title back. Why did that white judge not rule in his favor? See, it's too many things that contradicts everything that you say you believe. Right? Your circular logic doesn't work. Not with me. It'll work with a lot of those low IQ dudes who probably didn't have a father in their life and who looking for a father on the internet. It'll probably work against them, but it don't work against me. Because I was once them. Listen, bro, I'm telling you, I was once them before. I was so ignorant and radical, it doesn't make any sense. I was like some silly putty in the hands of the person who makes the clay, the potter. I was like silly putty. I was like silly putty in the hands of the potter. I was real easy to be shaped and formed into whatever my handlers wanted me to do in the pro-black community. So juju mean the gypsy curse. Now we heard the gypsy curse. Bro, I don't know what to say. Which one is it? Which one is it? Deontay Wilder, sir, my advice to you, man, is this. Learn from your mistakes, bounce back like the champion that you are, and show the world why. Show the world that this heavily melanated man from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, showing what you can do on July the 24th. If you still blaming Tyson Fury for cheating, and you're still saying that everybody was against you, this is the reason why you lost, I can promise you, you're going to lose again. I can promise you that. Listen, guys, other than that, we're going to wrap this up, man. So let me go ahead and get everybody a shout out in the chat. Everybody, shout out to my big sister, Lisa Bells. Let's do this. Let's do this, guys. We're gonna do roll call. Matter of fact, we're gonna do roll call on this, man. We're gonna start from the top. Shout out to my brother Dennis from Kenya. Shout out to Shelton Moore. Where's my mouse at, man? Let's do this. Where's my mouse at? Let's do this. Let's see. Shout out to Anali. Shout out to Anna Lee. Sorry about that. Shout out to Anna Lee. Anna Lee, shout out to you, sister. Shout out to my brother Ronald Finkley. Shout out to Guitars for You. Shout out to Chat Shit Bang. Get Bang. Shout out to Neil Simpson. Shout out to Peter Barnard. Shout out to M. Bloom. Shout out to Lisa Bales. Shout out to my sister, Lady Shan, for rocking with me. Shout out to my brother, Punch Drunk Boxing. Please subscribe to Lady Shan's channel. Please subscribe to Punch Drunk Boxing. Please subscribe to my brother. Oh man, where my other brother at? I'm gonna find him in a minute. Shout out to M. Bloom. Shout out to Sly Tennessees. Shout out to Peter Barnards. Shout out to who else we got? Shout out to Brandon Lins. Shout out to who else we have? Who else we have? Captain Al Pacino. Shout out to Jeep Man. I got a whole bunch named G Man that saved me tonight. I got shot. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'll try to turn around. I was buck wild out there, man, when I was younger. Right here, I don't know if you can see it. It's a dot right here, right? I got shot right here, and the bullet came out right there with a 32. That's when I was 16 years old. I don't know if you can see it, but I was 16 years old. So I was really out there, guys. So trust me. I'm speaking from experience. Yeah, I was really out there. I was gone. I was gone. Like I was. You think the Alphabet Boy channels was bad? I was 20 times worse than them. I was the militant of the militant growing up. You see what I'm saying? So, but I learned from my mother. My mother taught me so. And then my grandfather from Harlem. He was from Harlem, New York. R.I.P. to my granddaddy, Mr. Kareem, R.I.P. to my mother. Anyways, shout out to Brandon Lins. Shout out to James Burrell. Shout out to who else we have? Shout out to my main man, Javis Bickle. Javis Bickle. Shout out to my brother Shelton Morris. Salute to my brother Shelton Morris. Shout out to my main man, Charlo. Shout out to Peter Barnards. Shout out to Peter Reeves. Shout out to Jess Blaze. Jess Blaze, what's going on, fam? Shout out to Sneezy Foster. Let's see who else we have. Shout out to Cop Killer. What's going on? Well, that's a hell of a name now, man. That's a hell of a name. So this guy says, what you say? Anthony Joshua and Dillian White are foreigner fighters. We are Americans, so why should we support them, especially against our black fighters? Wow, brother, that's the problem. Your ignorance is on full display. You don't even realize it. I'm not even going to address that. But shout out to you anyways, brother. Shout out to Toby Barlett. Shout out to Paul CX. Shout out to my main man Dennis. Shout out to you, fam. Shout out to my brother. Tell him what's going on. Shout out to my main man, my brother Bonatti. Shout out to Toby Barlett. Shout out to Oscar De La Boya. Shout out to my brother Halim. Shout out to Halim. Shout out to who else we have? My sister Lisa Bells. Anna Lee. Shout out to James Burrell. Guitars for You. Who else we have? Shout out to, I'm trying to make sure I get everybody, man. Shout out to Graham Taylor. Shout out to Hector Garcia. Shout out to Bruce Leroy, the real McCoy. Hey, Leroy. Playtime's over, boy. Paul CX. Shout out to you, fam. Who else we got? I want to make sure I got everybody. Shout out to Triple X. What's going on? What's going on? My main man said, Brandon says always go for the American fighter when it comes to a UK fighter. When it comes to boxing, I go for the guy who I think is going to win, who is the better skill. I don't get caught up in what coast you from. I mean, me personally, I don't. I used to when I was younger, but now I'm older. I don't do that. But to each his own. To each his own. To each his own. Shout out to Jabril Bay. Shout out to Alan Skill. Shout out to my main man, Alan Skill. Other than that, man, that's it. This is boy Coach Malachi Williams, representing for New Media Today, USA Boxing. Signing out, man. Peace to everybody, man. Much love to everybody, man. And peace.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.